Hey guys, this is what we call a Bananafan because of the shape of the vents. I think that should be pretty obvious. They were made by Union and or Evergo in the early 80s and are one of the more unique Hunter original copies. This one, kind of unique version as well, and we'll get into that later. First of all, I want to point out that these blades and blade brackets are not original. The original blade brackets would look just like this, but the hole size is a little bit different where they mount to the motor. The blades that would have gone with this fan would have been a darker wood without cane. These are the blades and brackets to the earlier version. There were 1, 2, 3, at least 4 motor versions that I know of for this fan. The earliest ones were a oil bath shaded pull motor, just like a Hunter original. But they were 28 pull motor and went a lot slower than a Hunter original did. And the next version was the exact same thing, but had sealed bearings instead of oil bath bearings. So the stator and everything, electrically it was the same, but the bearings were different. I tested a white one of those that's going to the museum. And that's what the blades and brackets of this one came off of, the brown and brass one like that. Then there was this model, which is the one that I've seen the least of. This does not have an oil bath shaded pull motor. It's got what we would call a skeletal motor. Basically, it's a motor design with the rotor on the outside like a spinner, but it's open like a shaded pull motor. It's not enclosed. You can see the coils. And I guess I'll turn the lights on after the video so you can get a better look at that. There's also little fins in there to cool the coils. It's a pretty cool design. And then they had just a straight spinner one that was a 4-speed fan. I think that's the only one that used a different speed control. The first 3 used the variable speed pull chain, which is another one of the weirdest things about it. It's 2 pull chains that you use to vary the speeds, and we'll get to that during the video. I got this motor new in box, but the box was destroyed, and I thought I was buying a complete new in box fan, so I thought it would have blades and brackets and everything, and what happened when I received it was the box was in such terrible shape that a lot of the parts had fallen out, probably even before it was shipped, probably just over the years when it was being stored or whatever. And so what I ended up with was just a motor, no screws, no canopy, no blade brackets, no blades, etc. So I was a little disappointed there, but I did want this version. It's also a reversible version. You can see the reverse switch there. It's an unusual reverse switch too. We'll get a better look at that when the lights are on. But I believe this is the version that hung in my Uncle Pat's kitchen when I was a kid. His had a 3-light tulip light on it. He got it from Menards. So, got the amp meter. So it's powered on. It's powered on to low right now. It's supposed to draw on high. It's supposed to draw 1 amp. So let's see. Oh, it's noisy. This is considerably noisier than the shaded pull version, which is surprising. Shaded pulls are not known to be the quietest motors, especially with a variable speed control. And we're drawing 0.65 amps on this rather fast, low speed. I did not open it up and adjust the low speed trim. That is something I would do if I was going to install this fan, but since it's a fan that's essentially new in box, I wanted to leave it how it would be from the factory. So to vary the speeds, you just pull one of the chains. We'll pull it now so they're even in length. Now we're at 0.83. Pull it some more. Now we're at, oh wow, so we're drawing more than the rated. Because right now we're at 1.07. Let's see how far we have to go to high. Okay, that's going to be high. 1.31, that's considerably more than what it's supposed to be drawing. It's going faster than the shaded pole ones do, though, and is moving a good deal of air. I wonder, because the shaded pole ones are designed to go slower, they're 28 pole motors. I wonder if the blade pitch is steeper on the shaded pole versions, and so that's why there's more of a load on the motor now. But I can't imagine that would account for a third of an amp difference from what it's rated for. It's not dropping any, that's just what it's going to draw. That's interesting. It's definitely one of the interesting things we learned testing stuff with the amp meter that we wouldn't have learned otherwise, because I would assume that everything is fine right here, because that's the seems like about the right speed for a 18 pole motor, moving a good amount of air. Definitely got quieter on high when we removed the variable speed control. So which one do we pull to stop it? That one. We can try it in reverse too. Has this cool little rocker switch, reverse switch. Again, we'll see it better when the lights are on. I've also seen these with a slide reverse switch, but the rocker switch is by far, I think, the most unique. So let's start it in low. 0.43, that seems a little bit more in spec. Still very noisy. Even out the pull chains. At some point in time I'll have to do a video with one of these apart so you can see how the dual pull chain thing works. It's just one of those cardboard box variable speed controls with the knob facing down, and instead of a conventional knob it's a pulley, and the chain sits in the pulley. It's really a very cool design. It's pretty ingenious when you figure the biggest downside of variable speed fans is you have to reach up to adjust the speeds. I'm surprised no other companies did anything like this. Well, Emerson did something kind of like it with the friction drives, but it was a lot less practical. It's a pretty unique design, but I guess most people are happy with 3 speeds, and so... Now which one do I pull to go faster? That's probably the biggest downside. That's going lower. What I would generally do is put, you know, a tassel on one and like something that's not a tassel on the other, so you could keep track of which one was which. Let's go to high. See, now here high is drawing 0.91 amps. That's considerably less than. It's quieter, and it's a little bit slower, I think, but not drastically so. So that's interesting. Okay, let's stop it. Yeah, Bananafans are definitely one of my favorite childhood fans. I really would love to find some more of... I really regret I gave away the spinner one, and I regret that, even though it's my least favorite version. So, just because I want to monitor that some more, because I'm kind of curious about that high amperage rating. I'm going to turn it back to high in forward. I'm going to go turn that light on. And by the way, it was hanging right here. And there's the shaded pole version. You can see the coils in there. I hope you can see them. There. So these versions have a plastic switch housing. Or actually, no, this one, I can't tell if that's plastic or not. I know the oil bath versions have a plastic switch housing because I have one of those, and the switch housing is stripped. Tested this Tested that. Tested the white version of those. This is what the box would have looked like for the one with the broken box. And this is what the blades should have been. I don't know what these blades are. I've never seen them on anything. That I've seen white. Okay. Still at 0.13. So I don't know what that's about, but let me show you some things on here real quick. Luckily it doesn't take long to stop. Bearings are probably stiff, given that it's never been ran before. It does seem like it's freeing up a little bit as we let it run. Okay, so let's first see if you can see the fins in there. You can kind of see that, I imagine, that are cooling the motor. Can't see the coils because the rotor and flywheel, there's the reverse switch. Let's get the stool out and look on top, see if you can see anything on top. So you can see the motor coils there. And then the rotor is around them. Skeletal motors are generally considered to be better than spinner motors for two reasons. One is that they are usually bigger than spinner motors. Usually they fill the entire housing or close to of whatever fan they're in. And then two, they're open, so they don't trap as much heat in. What I've never actually done is compare a skeletal motor to a cast iron spinner. That might be interesting because the cast iron can help also dissipate the heat. But it depends if it's actually connected to parts that get hot. I guess it would be in any case because the rotor heats up and the stator heats up. So I don't know if there's a pro and con of one over the other. Generally speaking, overall we consider skeletal motors to be better. Well, that's this one. It's pretty cool. I'm going to try to film a couple more today. Thanks for watching.